So I wasn't exactly planning on making another market video so soon after the last one, but I was looking at Mega Evolution and I couldn't really ignore what I was seeing, especially with these IRs marked right here. Not so much Steelix, but mostly Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Vulpix, and Marshadow. And that's because it looks like they had already reached their bottom actually a few months ago. And I wasn't really paying attention to the market those many months ago. I wish I did, because I would have picked up probably a bunch of Bulbasaurs and Ivysaurs. But on December 1st, like December and January timeframe, Bulbasaur and Ivysaur were really low, much too low, $14 and $15. Come February, they start picking up a little bit and then really start skyrocketing, I guess, March. Now let me do the 6 months here. So this is the price for Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and everything else. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur are the blue and green lines. Bulbasaur is blue. So if it's blue, that means Bulbasaur is right here, is actually definitely exceeded Ivysaur. And no wonder, because A, Bulbasaur is the Kanto starter, one of them. Of course, Ivysaur is its evolution, but typically the basic stage is much more cuter and more popular than that middle first stage. That's just how it is. So Bulbasaur has gained the most and has now exceeded Ivysaur in price for sure. It sits at $25 and Ivysaur is at $20. Far cry from what it was in December, January, $14 and $15. That's insanity. Vulpix and Marshadow has also gained a lot. Granted, at a different time than Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. They actually had a much longer time to bottom. They actually bottomed more like March-ish. It looks like, at least based off of this 6 month, though not all time, but within these 6 months. It looks like they bottomed at around the same time as Bulbasaur and Ivysaur really taking off. And I guess because Bulbasaur and Ivysaur were going up, Vulpix and Marshadow decided to go up too, because that's when they all decided to rise. Ever since the March 11th, 10th time frame, and they have all been steadily increasing over time. Looking at the percentage change, yeah. So here's the percentage change, which is a much more accurate portrayal of the volatility in the market. Bulbasaur, of course, gained the most percentage-wise. The second one that gained the most is actually Vulpix. Vulpix is this yellow line now. And then third is the green, Ivysaur. And the purple is actually Steelix, but Steelix, comparing Steelix now to Steelix before, it hasn't really moved that much. It was hovering at like between $5, $6. It is currently now $7, so there's been a bit of a gain, but not as much as the other four. And this bottom red right here is Marshadow, which, as you can see, fell the most. But in that sense, has the most to gain now, because it has been steadily climbing, and then today it sits at $15, whereas that bottom point was $9. And I'm mentioning these 4 IRs because all 4 of them have cultural significance. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur obviously cannot believe that they were $14 and $15. When I saw this, I wish that I was a little bit, more attentive to the market than I am now. But yeah, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, seriously, $14, $15. Vulpix is also a very popular character. It is part of the original 151 Pokemon and has been popular in its own way, both Vulpix and Ninetales, so kind of no wonder that Vulpix is going up as well. Forgot to turn on my cursor. Let me turn on my cursor. There we go. Marshadow as well is culturally significant because it's a cute-ish Pokemon, but also very cool. I recall certain tag team cards that featured Marshadow. And not only that, Marshadow started out very strong at around like $80 price point when Mega Evolution came out. Not saying that it's going to attain that price point again, but it just goes to show that it's very well known. Plus, in addition, Marshadow, the IR, features a Pikachu on it. So here's Marshadow and here's Pikachu right here, just casually peeking his face up from the frame. This is definitely an awesome artwork. And of course, Bulbasaur is here. Beautiful artwork as well. And it is a connecting card connecting to Ivysaur and Mega Venusaur. Definitely a good pickup. And normally I would, of course, try to look for a bottom and then pick up that card and wait for it to go up. In this case, these guys have already bottomed. However, because they have such cultural significance and value, even as they're going up right now, I still think they are good pickups, especially the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. In this case, I would think long term. How much is Bulbasaur and Ivysaur going to be worth in the long run, being Kanto starters? And then, of course, following behind them, Vulpix and Marshadow as well. Personally, I think they all have a lot more to climb. I just don't know how much exactly. But Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, definitely. But if you're going, $20 is a little bit too much for me right now, well, you can pick up a Marshadow. I do Marshadow over Vulpix just because Marshadow does have that Pikachu, and they both look really cool and cute. Now, what is happening with the SIRs? Well, they're also climbing. All three SIRs that are the top SIRs, that would be the Lucario one, the Mega Gardevoir, and Mega Venusaur. They are this red, purple, and yellow line, and this is the percentage change. So you can see pretty clearly they are rising. But currently they are $200 cards. Well, Mega Lucario and Mega Gardevoir are $200 cards. Venusaur is $153. So up to you whether or not you're going to pick up those SIRs. I kind of think it's a little more worth it to pick up the IRs because you can get a few more of those for the price of one SIR. You kind of spread your risk that way. And then lastly, and funny enough, the next 5 IRs, Shuckle, Gumshoe, Stuffle, Executor, and Litleo, not particularly popular Pokemon, they have actually been seeing a rise as well, starting at about the same time frame as the other 5 IRs, the first 5, like around March 10th-ish. All of these 5 have wavered between price points for a long time, but ever since, March time frame, they've been slowly gaining, and now they, at least compared to this 90-day average, they have actually exceeded their 90-day point. So pretty impressive. I don't know if you guys want to pick up those cards. This green is Gumshoes. Gumshoes has gained the most. I think in December it was like $1.98, something like that. Super cheap. And now it sits at, $4.90. Crazy. But yeah, all 5 of these are in the plus percentage compared to 90 days ago, which is, this 0 point right here. And hopefully you can see there's like this somewhat faint dash line to show that point on the y-axis. Yeah, they're past that. So very impressive. That is all. Definitely watch these cards. Maybe pick up a few if you want, especially those 4 IRs mentioned in the beginning. And that is it. See you in the next one.